Hello everyone, what's happening? I've just remembered that I haven't even uploaded my day 4 thoughts and selections for these videos, so it's the morning of the racing on the Friday now and I thought it's the best get them up quickly. I'm not sure anybody will even see this video in time, so I keep it short and snappy. In the first race, I fancy Vauban here. He's the favourite. I've put him up at 25 to 1 in these videos. I've liked everything I've saw from him so far. I've liked him ever since his debut when he was beaten by Pied Piper, but I think he reversed that form here. He was so impressive at the Dublin Racing Festival. People are making cases for Illate Toms, his stablemate, who was having his first run that day, to reverse the form of Vauban here with the extra experience this time. But Vauban wasn't stopping at the finish. I thought he had plenty left in the tank and I thought he won cosily. The same goes for Fil Dor. I understand that this race and ground might suit him better, but I still think he's got a lot to find with Vauban. And yeah, it'd be Vauban for me. Keep it short and simple. In the second race, the County Hurdle, all the talks about State Man here. Ruby Ross thinks he's a grade 1 horse. Listen, we've seen with Gaelic Warrior on the Tuesday that these good things in the handicap don't always go in, but it does look pretty hard to oppose State Man here. I think my mate Mozzie had a bigger prices interest than around 20 to 1. Maybe would have appreciated a bit of quicker ground, but yeah, I think my mate Mozzie is carrying some of my money, and I've had a little tickle on State Man also because he seems to be very well thought of in the Mullen stable. In the Albert Bartlett, you can fancy a lot of horses here. So I think Ginto's a worthy favourite. If he still is favourite at the moment, he's jostling with Hillcrest. I prefer Ginto out the two. I think he looks a future Gold Cup horse. He's always come with a high price tag and reputation. And I just think this race will be made for him, a real stamina test. He had the class to win over 2.5 miles in the Lawlers and Ace. I think Ginto will take the Wales to beat him, but a couple more at a bigger price. I think Chantry for the Henry de Brommen stable will go well here. He's took the same run into it as Manella Indo did. Racing in the race at Clonmel, I forgot the name of it, the Mercedes-Benz hurdle. Chantry's won that race, and he'll be looking to go one better. He'll be looking to follow it up here in the Albert Bartlett for the same stable as Manella Indo a couple of years ago. I also think Ramillies has got a great chance here. I don't know why he didn't beat much the last day, but it's just over 2 mile 4 furlongs at Punchestown, and he was doing all his best work at the finish. He's always been well talked about in the Mullins yard, and I think there's a lot more to come from Ramillies. And I've staked 20 points in these videos, and I've had one non-runner no bet runner today deployed the getaway, so I'm going to replace that point with a 1 point on Ramillies. I checked towards the end of the video what price Ramillies actually is, but he'll be my final bet for these videos. Ramillies for the Albert Bartlett. I think he's got a good outside squeak. Classic Getaway is another one with a heavy price tag. He hasn't really delivered on track, but this step up and trip might do the job for him. There's a lot of them you can fancy in this race, but personally, the ones at a bigger price that interest me are the likes of Chantry and Ramillies, but I do think Ginto is a worthy favourite. Like I say, you could name tons in that race like I just have. In the Gold Cup, I don't like any at the top of the market. I'm not saying any of them won't win. It wouldn't surprise me what won this race, but I just feel like a Plutard, he hasn't really brought his best form to Cheltenham in the last couple of years. I know it was a good run in the Gold Cup last year in second, but he was well held by Manella Indo, to my eyes. The year before, he was beaten favourite. I think he went off favourite against Min in the Ryanair. So I'm not sure whether he brings his best form to the new course at Cheltenham. I'm not sure if he's a dour stayer. He may well be the classiest in this race, but at 5 to 2, I'm inclined to take him on. Next in the betting is Galvin, and just with Galvin, he was 40 to 1 at the start of the season, being prepped for the National. I feel like I've missed the boat. I'm not going to back him at 7 to 2 now. I'm inclined to take him on. He's definitely improved throughout the season, but he was never a Gold Cup winner in my eyes. But it's such an open year, you couldn't write him out, and it's kind of a written story for Davy Russell coming back from injury to win the Gold Cup. Sorry for mumbling here. I'm just trying to get through this video super fast. Manella Indo, got the Manella Indo mug here. It was my biggest return ever from a winner last year. I was there when he won the Albert Bartlett 2 years ago, and I backed him for the Gold Cup ever since. He was in all my doubles, multiples, singles from 33 to 1 downwards for the Cheltenham Festival last year. And like I say, it's the biggest win I've ever had on a racehorse. But this season, I haven't liked what I've saw about him. I know he's a Cheltenham horse. I'm not completely writing him out. I'm not going to completely write him out either. But I just thought, at the start of the season, you could forgive him his first run. He was terrible in the King George. In fairness, I don't think that track was ever going to suit. And that run behind Conflated at the Dublin Racing Festival, I didn't like that as much as everybody else. I thought that was a Irish Gold Cup full of just horses at the tail end of their career that are going to offer nothing in a race like this. I don't understand the Cheltenham factor in Manella Indo, but I think that's all he's got going for him at this stage. So I've been a Chantry houseman for about 15, 18 months, literally. He's my favourite horse in Cheltenham. I've been backing him, not as much as Manella Indo because the year before, because I have went off Chantry House a little bit this season. I've seen nothing from Chantry House this season to suggest he could win a Gold Cup. He hasn't jumped well enough. He looks a bit lethargic. So you'd be taking a lot on trust here. But like I say, he's been my Gold Cup horse for a long time, and it's such a wide open renewal. I'm not going to turn away from him now. He's got the right profile I like for this race. He's a second season chaser. He's tackling in the race for the first time. He's got form over shorter. You could say the same about Protectorat, so they are the two that appeal to me. Like I say, no disrespect to Dan Skelton, but I like to stick to the top 4 stables at the Cheltenham Festival because, let's face it, they win most of the races. But we have seen the likes of Alan King, Venetia Williams win some great ones this week so far. And I do think Protectorat has got a great chance here. He'll stay, he'll jump. He's got Cheltenham form. And yeah, for me, Chantry House, he's always been my main bet in this race. But I have had a little go on Protectorat. And yeah, they're the two profiles that'll do for me. Like I say, visually, I don't really fancy any of them in this race, so I've come down to just backing horses purely off profile. Another horse that kind of fits this bill is Tornado Flyer. He's unexposed at this trip. He won the King George. A lot of people call that out as a fluke, but who knows? Tornado Flyer, I couldn't put no one off him. He's such an unknown, but like I say, this race is just, I think it's wide open. You could even make a case for the likes of Stadium Falange, but I'll move on and I'll see Chantry House with a little backup on Protectorat. The next race is the Hunter's Chase. I'm not going to waste any time on this. I just think Bill away to put the cheek pieces on. Maybe that'll be enough to make him go one better. Bob and Cole goes there with a chance, but they're the only two I really know about in this race. So out the two, Bob and Cole's the bigger price. Shall I just go for him? I haven't got a strong selection in this. Like I say, maybe the cheek pieces would Bill away, but I'll just move on quickly. In the Mare's Chase, I like Concertista here. I think she's by far the classiest. People are talking about her jumping, but she's made it round the track both times perfectly fine. She is low, but I think she's full of class. Her form figures at Cheltenham are phenomenal. She comes second by a short head here on her debut for Willie Mullins. Rectified it the year later in the Mare's Novice Hurdle, absolutely bolted up. And last year she was just chinned in the Mare's Hurdle by Black Tears. She's full of class. She loves Cheltenham. She comes alive round here. I think she's the best horse in the race. Okay, she jumps a little bit low. Stamina was a doubt for me at the start of the season when I put it up in these videos, but she won over 2 miles 6 furlongs at Limerick around Christmas, and this is notoriously the most heavy testing ground according to the jockeys and pundits. She should stay. I know that was a weak field that day, but she still have to stay to win 2 miles 6 on heavy round there. I think she's the classiest mare. Everybody's against her, which just makes me like her that little bit more, and she would be one of my strongest bets for the Friday. Hopefully Concertista can do the business for me. I'd be a Concertista fan. In the final race today, I haven't got no strong opinion on this race. I put Hollow Games up in the Albert Bartlett. I've been disappointed with them all year. But to be honest, dropping back into a handicap off that mark, I think, and he's got Jordan Gainford's probably one of the best jockeys in the race on board. I think he's got a great chance here, Hollow Games. Like I say, I've completely went off the horse, but in a race like this, I think he'd take all the beating. I was just checking the price for him. He's 7-1 best price, Hollow Games. I think that's a very fair price. Chemical Energy, I backed earlier in the year at 16s. He's 10s now, but he looks second string here for Gordon Elliott. Based on jockey bookings. And yeah, Chemical Energy is always being mapped out for this race all season. Gordon Elliott said so himself. Gordon Elliott's got a ton of horses in here. The Goffer, he's a hardy bulk for Noel Mead, was battered him from 40-1 to 14-1 yesterday. So there must be a bit of market confidence for him, and a bit of confidence from the stable maybe. I'm not sure. But Langadan is a favourite I'd want to take on. I think he's a real Twitter horse. Yeah, it's just one of them. But like, if he wins with the weight of Twitter on his shoulders, then he'd have to be a good horse because the whole world's on him. Adamantly shows, and I know he's well thought of for the Mullins camp, but like I say, it's a bit of a this race. Okay, I don't think there's a Galopin de Champs here this year, so I'll just stick with Hollow Games at 7-1. So my selections for the final day of the Cheltenham Festival would be Vauban at 15-8. Put them up in these videos at bigger prices. State Man and my mate Mozzie in the County Hurdle, 4-1 and 20-1, I think. I just skip the prices, we all know what they are. And in the Albert Bartlett, I'll say Ginto is a worthy favourite, but Ramillies, I'm going to put a bet up on him in this race. For this race as my final bet of these videos, but my odds checker at the moment is just failing to load, so I'll try and get the price up at the end of the video, hopefully. In the Gold Cup, Chantry House, I'm going to stick with him, but I think Protectorat's also got a great chance, as he's been well pointed out by many pundits over the last couple of weeks. In the Fox Hunters, Billaway, Bob and Cole, yeah, they're the only two I know. In the Mare's Chase, I like Concertista. I think 9-2 is an amazing price, and I'll go for Hollow Games in the last. I think he may just be a little bit too good for that field. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to end this video now, but when I get a bit of connection, I'll add a little bit on the end and find out what price Ramillies is best price, but he will be 1 point my final bet of the meeting. So yeah, that'll be all from me, and yeah, I hope you've all had a good festival. I think it's been personally one of the worst festivals spectacle-wise for a while. I haven't really enjoyed it. The rain on the Wednesday, a lot of non-runners. You know, I had Brave Man's Game, 50s plus, 56 to 1 I think it was, but Brandy Love, 25 to 1 coming out, Shishkin not going a yard. It's been a painful festival, but listen, I'm still in profit. On these videos, I'm not sure, I'll have to add it up, but I might just be a bit under profit, so hopefully one of my horses can win today. And yeah, like I say, hasn't been the best festival to me, but it still always is amazing to watch, and I hope everybody's enjoyed it. So I'll see you for the preview, and I'll add Ramillies in at the end of this. And I'm not sure if anyone will even get the chance to watch this, but bye. Yeah, so Ramillies is 33 to 1 best price, and I think he's 33 to 1 on a couple of bookies. He definitely is on Bet365 and William Hill anyway. So I'll go with the 1 point on Ramillies to replace the points that I've had back for the non-runner no bet from Deploy the Getaway. Yeah, he's 33 to 1. It'd be nice if he can go in. Like I said, I was going to split it between him and Chantry, but I'll just stick with Ramillies. And yeah, 1 point Ramillies, 33 to 1. Final bet of these videos. So take care.